Have you ever thought about coming to Mexico and starting a new life? It's a dream for many and a nightmare for others. I'm Rich and I moved to Mexico 10 years ago, guys, and I want to share with you some of the experiences that I've had over these past 10 years. So in this video, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 major cultural shocks that I experienced when moving to Mexico. So stay tuned, guys, it's coming up. My shock number 1, guys, is I actually got married here in Mexico. And I have to admit, guys, it was, I'm married to a Mexican. I have Mexican kids. And it was, oh my God, it was a bit of a culture shock. I mean, I had a wonderful wedding. I mean, I could tell you so many stories about my wedding. It was stunning, it was beautiful, it was shocking, and at times a little bit frightening. So basically what happened at my wedding, I want to give you a little idea what happened at my wedding, guys. So I mean in England, you know, we get married and it's a very formal affair and all the rest of it, and it is here in Mexico too. But the difference is I got married in my wife's Catholic, and so we got married in the Catholic Church. I'm Church of England, and not that it really matters, but anyway, we decided to have mariachis at my wedding. There's a picture of me at the altar getting married. Evidence. And anyway, we had mariachis. We had a mariachi band at my wedding in the church, and it was amazing. I mean, oh my God, as a culture shock. I mean, England, you've normally got some guy, you know, playing the organ, but here in Mexico we had a full mariachi band play at my wedding, and I have to say, guys, it was phenomenal. I was saying to my wife, you know, what do we drink here in Mexico at weddings? And she's like, Rich, you're in Mexico, we drink tequila. So I was like, okay, so how much tequila do I need to buy for the wedding? So I went to Sam's to buy some tequila, and she's like, well, you know, buy 8 cases of tequila. 8 cases, like 10 bottles or 12 bottles in every case. And I'm just like, seriously, we need that much tequila? And she's like, yeah, it's a Mexican wedding and 120 Mexicans are coming to this wedding. So, which basically 120 Mexicans was my wife's family. My dad came and my best man came, Dave, and that was it. That was all I had from England. But it was an amazing event. We had a great time. So that was my number 1 culture shock of moving to Mexico, was getting married here in Mexico. Okay, my shock number 2, guys, is you know, you hear all this "mi casa es tu casa," my house is your house, all that kind of thing here in Mexico. And you know what? It's absolutely true. I mean, I have to say, I've been here 10 years, guys, and the "mi casa tu casa," my house is your house attitude goes deep into the culture. I mean, when you walk into someone's house, you know, first of all, it's like, what do you want to drink? What do you want to eat? You know, help yourself. My house is your house. And you know, we do have a little bit of that in England, but I mean, it's such a strong part of the Mexican culture here to have that. You know, when you welcome guests in, they feel very, very welcome. I mean, just to give you an example, when I walk into the house, my suegra's house here, you know, I don't even ask. I go straight to the fridge, and if there's beer, I open a beer and I have a beer, and if there's food, I'm hungry, I just make some food, and I feel very, very comfortable. And that's what the Mexicans do. They make you feel very, very comfortable in their houses. So mi casa, tu casa. Okay, guys, my shock number 3 is people actually look at you in the street here in Mexico. I mean, they actually give you eye contact. I've lived in London, I've lived in a few different parts of the world, and I find Mexicans, you know, they're not afraid to look at you in the street. So when you're walking down the street, you know, I mean, let me take this for example. I'm walking down the street in London. People don't really look at each other in London. It's kind of like you go on the tube and you're kind of tunnel focus. But here in Mexico, people actually look at you and they give you eye contact. I mean, it was a bit of a shock for me. I mean, I'm a friendly guy, but oh my God, it kind of took me out of my comfort zone a little bit, because people are really friendly, naturally really friendly. So that was my number 3, guys. People look at you in the street. Continue on nicely from my shock number 3 is shock number 4. And what I found is that people actually talk to you. I mean, people look at you, but actually people talk to you. So if you're walking down the street and you go, buenos dias, or buenas tardes, or buenas noches, or, you know, buen día, or hola, you know what? You've got that eye contact, people will respond to you. And that for me was like, coming from England, was like, wow, you know, people are really friendly here if you make an effort. I mean, of course, if you don't want to make an effort and you're, you know, just tunnel vision and all the rest of it, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're making an effort, people are very, very friendly here. So this actually leads on to my shock number 5. There are very distinct manners in the Mexican culture, and they're very different from I would say from the English manners, you know, for instance. So what was a bit of a shock for me is the Mexicans, they say con permiso. Con permiso is with permission. There's this culture where if you are, say, going through a door, if you're passing someone if you're quite close to someone, you'll say con permiso. That doesn't exist in England. I mean, it exists in a way of we say, excuse me, please. That kind of thing. But here in Mexico, in a way, they're asking for permission, which is very, very polite. It's extremely polite. And this takes me on. Mexicans are very, very polite. Let me give you an example. I'm having a meal in the restaurant, and there's a table next to me, and they are about to leave, and as they stand up to walk away, say, buen provecho, which means enjoy your meal. So it's you know, continue what I'm saying. It's extremely polite culture. You know, you don't get that in England. People don't, like, you know, you're eating in a restaurant, people don't walk away as they stand up to walk out of the restaurant. They don't say enjoy your meal. The waiter does, but it's very, very, it's not normal for a customer in a table next to you to walk away and say enjoy your meal. But here in Mexico, it is common. It's very, very common, and it's etiquette and it's manners. So, you know, this is some of my biggest shocks here in Mexico. I'm sure this video could be a lot bigger, and I'm sure I could add so much more to this, but I just wanted to give you a few little insights into what it's actually like living here in Mexico as a foreigner. And you know, guys, as you know, I speak a bit of Spanish, and I do my best to be understood and be a part of the culture. So, you know, guys, if you're coming here, I would suggest, you know, be a part of the culture. You know, learn the manners, learn the mannerisms. You know, learn the gestures. You know, this gesture, the hand up is please go ahead. You know, and you know, learn these little kind of things of these polite ways that the Mexican culture exists. Mexican people in general are very, very friendly if you're friendly, you know, and you know, if you make that effort, they make that effort. So there we go, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please consider subscribing and give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, because you know what, guys, I upload videos all the time here on YouTube once a week about living here in Mexico. So thank you again, guys. Hasta luego, amigos.